So, how you doing? What are you up to? Let's see. What are you up to? You're happy, you're in love, got a relationship that it's already made you a lot of money, or it's just made you very happy to be talking to someone. Maybe you're getting some people together to come. So maybe you're bringing people together, or you're bringing other beings together to create something that is going to be worth a lot, and it's all going to be just you, and maybe you're even protecting someone. Maybe this is why you're coming to do that. Maybe you're trying to protect someone. A fraud. You're protecting a fraud that you were in love with, and so you created a venture. So you're trying to create a venture with someone else to make a lot of money, so that you could take care of this fraud, and maybe steal the money from me because everybody else been doing it. So, heartbreak. Maybe you were protecting them for, maybe you're trying to protect their money. Maybe the mail, maybe they were something in the mail. Something came in the mail, some money came in the mail, maybe a check that you've seen. Maybe it was for someone else, it was mine or someone else's. You seen it and didn't think anybody would think anything of it, but maybe it was a big check, something that would have made me happy. Something, maybe multiples of them came in, or multiple people got them. But the way that you, maybe the way you cashed them, or maybe how you did it, or how fast you did it, or when you did it, is what got you caught, because you were the only one there. So possibly you were the only one that tried to maybe give someone money, or tried to either get money back, or tried to do something. Maybe you were stopped, or maybe you just stopped because you didn't, because it was a lot of money. And maybe other people didn't want you to. You were the only one that was wanting to. Maybe you didn't see. Maybe people don't see that. Maybe they figured that you had a lot, or someone had a lot, that they wouldn't notice it, or no one would notice it. Or maybe it brought you a lot, and you're noticing that, like, wow, you got a lot off of this money that wasn't yours, something that you should have walked away from, something that poked you in the ass, something that came up on you right quick as soon as you turned around. Maybe as soon as you turned around, a big offer came, or something that maybe you were happy that you turned around and that you didn't get caught up in something. And it didn't cost you a thing to do the right thing, and you didn't have no worries. You were happy, your head's alright, like you're able to create. Maybe it helped you become creative, because you were able to create. You didn't have things to worry about. You were able to get the stuff that you needed or what you wanted to create. But it's expensive, and it kind of sucks. So when, like, if you got a lot of money or something, you're able to get all that stuff, and then when it runs out, or if it was someone else's money in the first place and you get caught, then like all that stuff got to go too, and people know that, or this person knows that. They see that I am still here, but I was being covered. Maybe they were being banned. Maybe multiple people had 9 lines that were running. Maybe I had 9 ideas. My ideas run forever. They don't ever stop. Something that, what, is a gift that keeps on giving. Um, Something that you want, you know. Um, Something that, and it's very creative, so it can always expand and it can always create more, you know. And maybe the things I've created, or maybe the things you created, whatever, um, or maybe it's got somebody in their head, or maybe it just comes from your head. It's like off the top of my head, and like maybe this person's seeing like, wow, they're in love about that. Like that's pretty cool. It just off the top of your head, like all these things just come out just out of nowhere, and I'm the only one that does that. It's kind of maybe I don't see that it's actually kind of hard to do. Maybe a lot of people give me flowers or give me a trophy or something like that, or maybe they actually want to be with me or something, but I'm cut off from that. I'm cut off from all, like, kind of like most technology. You know what I mean? I'm cut off from, all I got is a phone. Yeah. And, maybe I don't see that. So, from far away, you might not see that, especially if you got, you know, a couple kings. Maybe you got some extra people in your house. You know what I mean? That, uh, but they see the way that, maybe they see the way people around you, kind of block you out and keep you. I mean, like you're like kind of like locked down. You're just like there, and no one really has anything to do with you much. Like maybe they see that, and they see that you have a lot to give, but you're in desperate need of, like, moving forward. You know what I mean? Like you're kind of like, I ain't gonna say stuck, but stuck. I don't know what else to really say. You're like, you got the energy, you got the creativity, you got everything. You just got to get it going, really. And you know, and maybe you used to be like Mr. Ball. You know what I mean? Maybe you were Ball at one time, or maybe that's your name. No joke, like for real. That was my name. I was Ball, but maybe I was Paul too, and Jones and Johns and John Easons. But either way, maybe you were on the ball at some time though, but or maybe you won a Powerball or something, and like multiple people knew that you won it. Maybe they wanted your house, or they wanted something. They figured you had stuff in your house. Maybe they seen you were out of town. Maybe they met you out of town, so they knew where you about lived, and maybe they came to rob you, and either possibly did rob you, or maybe you knew someone. Hey, just luckily, and like maybe they were like kind of like stopped before something happened where it didn't go through. But either way, uh, multiple people knew you won the lottery. Maybe you even won a house or something, and you might not even know you won a house. Maybe you won like one of them second chance drawings, and people are trying to get up with you, and they can't. Maybe they got up with someone else, and they pretended to be you, and they done it so good that they maybe have got stuff from it, like they was like scamming the fuck out of somebody, and uh, maybe like you just being at the house, you're kind of cut off from the world, so you ain't really involved in anything, and ain't got no love, so you're just sitting here, being bored, playing with your pecker kind of thing, and maybe there's multiple people that like actually like love you. Maybe they like watch you or know of you, but maybe won't have a relationship. Someone you love, someone that you might would have a real relationship with. Maybe you would go with, or maybe would even come to you, that kind of thing. Maybe they were in jail or something. Maybe they're being set free, so maybe they can. Yeah, maybe they're in jail. Maybe they want to lock you down. Maybe now that they're free, or they want to put you in jail because you are free, and or they want to lock you down, like, and just hold. You know what I mean? Like, they want to put you in a relationship because they see who you are, and what you can do, and what you have did. Like, you have experience in a lot of things, and you have a massive record in goodness. Like, it ain't like a super bad record. I mean, like, you got a resume. How about that? You know what I mean? And people see that, and they're actually scared of that because people with my kind of record or resume, like, really are dickheads most of the time, and know a lot like that. Like, and I'm not that kind of way, you know. And maybe it causes me to lose a lot of things, like not get things, because they look at it and they're like, "Wow, that's you. You're this person. You've been through that. You've done this. You've done that. No way. You don't even look like it." Like, I'm like, well, what am I supposed to look like? What's a cop supposed to look like? What's a burglar supposed to look like? What's a criminal look like? What does a murderer look like? Do they have a look to them for real? Like, you would know? Like, okay, you know, people don't see the big picture all the time. Maybe you need to look at the big picture. Maybe other people need to look at the big picture, but maybe you are drawing a big picture. Maybe you have a big project in mind. You're thinking super big, even though you think little. Like, you're thinking local, and like, you're thinking local, but a coliseum local. You know what I mean? Like, and you know, you got a lot of good ideas and a lot of memories, to be exact. You have a lot of trophies. You should be happy for yourself. You did a lot and been through a lot, and you've done a lot of things no one else could ever do. You're like, you're in the Guinness Book of World Records, but why am I just sitting here? You know what I mean? That kind of thing. But you got some love out there somewhere. It's just in time. In time, you know, in time it'll be freed, because maybe they were trying to block you, or you got a block in, you know what I mean, that is keeping you from freeing yourself all the way. Uh, Maybe a creative block. Maybe you got a creative block that's keeping you from or a house. Maybe it's a house, or the people in the house, or people around the house, or just the neighborhood, whatever. I don't know, you know, but maybe the house is giving you a creative block. Maybe, or you're just in the house and you got a creative block because you have nothing really to do, and you're just kind of just sitting there, and it's like mundane kind of melancholy stuff, you know. And maybe you possibly help somebody magically, not even like really doing it for no reason. I mean, you just actually just like, you know what, I'm gonna talk to somebody today, and you talk to somebody, and this person's like, oh my god, you talked to me, and they love that. And maybe they were going through a crisis, and they were in desperate need of a advice or some kind of creativity. Maybe you gave somebody maybe somebody in Fayetteville, you know what I mean, maybe someone sees the way you see. Maybe they see you at your house. Maybe they're not that far, or maybe they know where you're at and they love you. Maybe they love the house. Maybe that, you know, maybe they would love to be with you at the house, or maybe they would love to do something for you at the house, or at their house, your house, whatever. But this person is, you know, wants to do something creative. Like, maybe they want to do some witchcraft, or they want some cards, or maybe they just want to draw or do some kind of painting. Maybe they want you to draw them or something. Maybe they think you're an artist, artiste. You know, maybe they want you to tattoo them. Like, no joke, for real, they would, man. Like, yeah. Like, you got a lot of options. You can make money pretty easily for a lot of things, because I mean, you got a lot of avenues, and there's so many things to do, man. Just got to get the ball rolling, man. For real. And I've been like, I guess what you call healing, you know, for a while now. Supposedly 4 years, let's see. Yeah, probably about 4 years. But it seems like it's been about, man, it has to, there's, I think it's like 6 years I counted. So, I know for a fact there's a couple different things that I was involved in that they switched it, like they would dismiss it or get rid of it, whatever it is, and they would cancel it out and block it out and then start a new one. But nothing like really like still went and done the same thing, whatever. It wasn't like nothing different. They just started it over. And that is a big thing because the start from where they started over is like the 4 years, but there was like 2 years before that before they started it over. So there's like 6 years, like, and how was there like 6 years and it's only been 4 years? And then there's a lot of other things, but I ain't gonna get into it because it's like da 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 da, and I'm just all over the place. So it's something you would have to like. It's like something just talk about personally. But either way, it's kind of weird. It's kind of weird the time. You ever check the time and see that it's like changing? You're like, oh, it's like you just seen it and it was like an hour earlier, and then you're like 10 minutes later you look at it and it's like an hour or so later, 2 hours later. You're like, how? Like so late, so quick, and it's because it's changing. The time's changing. It changes off of brain frequencies that are in there, and it's just like the moon. Like, you know, the moon comes out like 2 or 3 times every night. Sometimes, well, not all the time, but I'm saying there's some nights I have literally took pictures of the moon 3 times, and I'm like, how the hell? And it's like, it's weird. But either way, it does be some weird stuff be going on, you know. But maybe you rushed somebody out sometime, and that caused a lot of heartbreak or caused a lot of problems because you were maybe what you had to call, like why you had to rush them out, or maybe you got rushed in on. That would cause a lot of problems, you know. Maybe you rushed somebody out that had maybe they had to carry a lot, or they were in a place they didn't know, and like it was like just a lot of trouble, and you know, and for what you kicked them out for was kind of stupid, you know. And but you know, they don't care, you know. They don't care because, oh, got all that, oh, too bad, poor dad, you know. But later on, but they love what you gave them. They love what you did. They love everything, and now they wish they still had that love. Because all three of them, there's 3 of them, and maybe even 4 or 5 or something. There's definitely 3 of them that are like in love with you still to this day, even after you ain't been around in a while. You know, so that's pretty cool, I guess. You know, maybe they married you, and or maybe they were with you and wanted to see if they were going to come back to you. You know, without communication, maybe they were testing these people, see if they were going to cross you or if they were going to actually love you. You know, and you know they're seeing that maybe a lot. They're doing a lot of art. Maybe they're you know, their creative wheels have been spinning. They have a lot of options. Maybe they're just in a good mood. Maybe their frequency is up and higher, and their you know, their cups are growing. You know, maybe you even married these girls when they were young, and like they're like already your wife, but just waiting for them to get older. Maybe they're still growing. Maybe this was something. Maybe this. I know people. Oh, maybe this is something done that was something. It was a purposeful thing, and it's nothing bad. And so, you know, someone loves you. That's all I can say. Someone loves you. Someone loves me. Somewhere, maybe a couple more. But you know, maybe they still think about you. Maybe you still think about them. You know, and the way things used to be, or the way things could be. I mean, this ain't got to be like a relationship that you actually like were in like that. You could just know these people, and you're like, oh, you know, you see them or something, you think, oh yeah, you know, and like, wow, you know, what could have been, or what should have been, or what maybe you don't remember, like, you know, the way people were, or maybe people see you as a certain way, and maybe they don't see you as that way kind of no more. Maybe I don't know. Maybe they just see you different. Maybe you've grown up and other people are loving you and are liking what you do. So they love what you do, and they love, maybe they like seeing you or hearing you or something like that. But other people, maybe they don't like that and they're jealous of it. And maybe it causes a little imbalance with some people that do love you if they go around people that ain't really, you know, they don't really like you like that. They they seem to be off balance. Maybe you have the same problem, like when people you go around and they don't like, and it causes you to be off balance, and like maybe like go into, like, I ain't gonna say like a like epileptic seizure, but it's like that. You know what I mean?